Hey friends, so welcome to my channel. Just want to start off by saying I know I look like and sound like complete utter shit. I have a horrible sinus infection. I have been sick for over a month and it doesn't seem to be getting better. So I hope as we do my updates through this month of January, because I kind of plan on doing my monthly wrap-ups as, I wouldn't really call these vlogs, but as just updates as I finish the books that I'm reading or have up, you know, whatever. Hopefully I will start to sound better and to look fucking better, because I am so over being this fucking sick. This side of my fucking head is like numb. I can't really hear out of this ear. Like, I'm so over it. Started off as the flu and has just never gone away, and I am just over it. I am doing everything I can, taking every fucking vitamin, doing every fucking medication, whatever. Like, so yeah, you're getting me in my PJs. I don't care. It's a Sunday and this is just how it's gonna be. So I really want to like actually put out a video a month at least on my channel. So my video a month, I'm going to try to make it be like this kind of wrap-up style. So we'll see how that works out. I really hope it fucking does, because I like making videos. I like talking about books, but I'm just struggle bussing. So the first thing that we need to talk about is the first book that I finished, which is The Heroines by Laura Jefferson? Sure, let's say that's how I would say that. I got this edition, which, you know, pretty cool, when I was part of the Goldsboro science fiction and fantasy, or I don't even know if this was science fiction fantasy. It probably wasn't. This was probably the fiction one. I was a part of both of those for a while and found that, you know, like I was like, I like having a lot more control over what I am actually going to read than what like these book subscription boxes are going to do for me. So anyways, that's where I got this edition. But this is about Theseus and Phaedra and that storyline. So it's a Greek right? Yeah, Greek retelling. One of those. And if you don't know that retelling, that is Theseus marries the Princess of Crete, which is Phaedra. He takes her back to Athens. I was like, where are they from? Takes her back to Athens, and she is like 20 years younger than him, about the same age as his son, and his son Hippolytus or whatever, I don't know how to say his name, rapes Phaedra, and then there's like a court trial and the decision on that. So that is what this is about, and it very much detail, like it has that graphic rape scene in it, but it also has perspectives from a bunch of the other women that are around at this time. So it has, you know, Phaedra, her like handmaid, Kadak, Medea, like it has such, this one thing I really liked about this story was, I believe, like the voices of each one of these POVs was so distinct. Like they clearly came through when you were reading them. You could hear each one of them talking, and I thought that was it was really good writing in that way. You liked the movie The Last Duel. I really think you would like this book. This is not anywhere close to how good The Last Duel is. I freaking love The Last Duel a lot, and so this is nowhere close to how good that is, but it is kind of that same somewhat storyline and same themes and whatnot. So like if you liked that, you might like this. If you're just looking for like I just need a chill read, and basically that's what this was just like, I just need a chill read. I gave this 3 stars. It's fine. It's nothing like mind-boggling. So yeah, like it's kind of boring in some parts, which I mean, so is the last bowl, but I mean, it's kind of boring. There's nothing like super, I don't want to say there's nothing like super drastic happening because obviously there's like a rape, but like none of the characters are like super interesting, or it doesn't really go in depth with any of the characters. It's very surface level for the most part. But I think you did need to know a little bit about the original story of this to actually understand anything, and I think it will be quite forgettable for me. So in the end, it's 3 stars. It's fine. I started off the year perfectly fine, and so yeah, that's the heroines. If you are interested in this, I mean, and if you like Greek retellings and you know this story and you just want a retelling of this, I do think it was good. And like I said, I think the character voices were very distinct. The writing was very good. So it is an enjoyable read for the most part. Kind of after that, I started trying to read the book I need to read for my book club, which is Watching You by Lisa Jewell. I don't like that book at all. I don't know if I'm actually gonna finish it, because I really dislike the writing a lot. So I started trying to listen to the audiobook, and the audiobook narrator sounds so old, while the character perspective you're getting is like 27. And then the audiobook narrator sounds like she's 70, and I'm just like, I don't like this. And it was just something about, like, I was just like, it's just cringe, I guess. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just read it. Maybe it's the audiobook narrator. So I started reading it, and I started over because I was like, I am so lost. I don't know what's going on. Like, I've read the first 4 chapters of this book like twice, and I still am just like, what? So I honestly couldn't even tell you what's going on with it because I can't remember. And the writing is just not, I am not digging it. So like, I don't know if I'm going to finish that book for book club, because I'm like, I can't get into this, and like, I don't like the writing. I can't stand any of it. Like, it just makes me want to cringe, and I don't know why. Like, I am not a fan. So that's where I am with Watching You by Lisa Jewell. We'll see if that actually gets done. I doubt it will at this point. All right, and the book I'm actually in the middle of right now is Malice by John Gwynne. I am like 100 pages into this, so just getting started. I started it yesterday, and like all I've been like, so I had to like actually like DNF, like not really DNF, like I'm not gonna go back to these other books that I was reading. I had to DNF like 5 books before I actually picked up on this one, because like I said, with this sinus thing, like my brain functioning feels like it's not fully at full capacity. So like when I was reading, I kept just like hearing my own reading narrator in my head, and like I couldn't get out of that with most of the other books that I was reading. So I was like, I have to find something else. So what I wanted was like a super traditional fantasy, which is what this is. Like, my husband was asking me about this morning actually, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely like white dude fantasy. and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. Like, I just mean like, it's definitely written for dudes, and like, that's fine. Like, I'm having a good time. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's written for men. And so in this, we're following several perspectives. I don't really know exactly what's going on right now. It's just a bunch of setup. We're following several perspectives, but all of them are like, except for one is a girl, but like all of them are basically just like young men who all have mentors. Like, so like it's very traditional fantasy, which I'm fine. That's what I wanted, like I said. So it's going fine. The writing's fine. The only thing like I really like is just making me just like ugh is like the dialogue. The dialogue is definitely like, this is what I think chivalrous knights sound like. So even though they're not knights, like, or anything like that, but I'm just like, that's what, like, I swear, like that's what John Gwynne thinks chivalrous knights sound like. And so, like, that's, like, annoying me a little bit, but, like, it has gotten a little bit better as I've gotten onto the book. Maybe I've just, like, just put it in the back of my mind. I don't know, but, like, so, yeah, it's going good. Like, there's been some interesting stuff going on. I so far like the lore of the world, which I think that's what's keeping me intrigued. And some, like, Corbin is one of the main characters. He reminds me, like, a lot of him and his friend Darth remind me a lot of, like, Rand and Matt from Wheel of Time. So, like, I am liking that. But yeah, I was just like, when I was talking about it, I was like, yeah, it's definitely like dude fantasy. And so it's nothing wrong with that. So, once I am finished with this, I will let you guys know. And, so yeah. Hey friends. So I'm here to do an update. I am looking so much better now and feeling a lot better than I was last time I updated. I still can't really hear out of this ear, but it's getting a lot better. But now the weather is starting to change to fucking cold, so we will see how that goes. But you don't really care about my weather updates or anything like that. You care about what I am reading. So, like in my last update, I said I was reading Malice. I'm about 211 pages into this, and I am gonna DNF Malice. I am just really not that interested. It is obviously very classic fantasy, which is fine, which is why I picked it up and started reading it in the first place, because I wanted to read classic fantasy. But oh my god, okay, I need to, like, move my seating position, sorry, but I was, like, squatting and I didn't like that. There's a little pattern back there. But so Malice is very classic fantasy and everything, which is why I picked it up. I wanted to read classic fantasy, but I just don't care. Pretty much is what this has come down to. It just feels like you're just, like, so, you know, in the Lord of the Rings, when you're in the Shire for, like, ever in the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring, well, that's just how this 200 pages feels, and it doesn't feel like that's gonna change anytime soon, and I just don't care. And, like, none of these characters are really interesting me at all, really intriguing me to stay. They're fine. I just don't care all that much. So I just want to be done. And I don't know if I want to come back to this ever again, so I might be unhauling this. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with that. Watching You by Lisa Jewell is the audiobook that I'm listening to, and this is also another reason why I'm doing nothing this, because I am not digging Watching You by Lisa Jewell. Like, it is just, I really don't like it. It's just, I am not getting on with any of those characters. I am not enjoying that reading experience at all. Like, I've tried physically reading it. I hate it. I am just listening to it, and, like, I can't stand it. Like, I can't really stand the narrator, but, like, I also just can't stand anybody in the story. And I don't know if you're supposed to feel that way, because I am perfectly fine having unlikable characters, but, like, I am just so over it. Like, but it's for like the book club that I'm in, so I'm just like, well, I hate not reading the book club books, and so I'm just like, just listen to it and just get it done. So I'm like halfway through that, and so that's another reason why I put down Malice, because I'm like, I don't want to put myself in a slump reading two books that I'm just really, like, meh on. So yeah, in Watching You, like, there's this whole neighborhood of people all infatuated with this one dude for some reason, and, like, you know, or you can kind of infer that he's, like, dead, and they're kind of, like, going back on that, and, like, just why, I don't understand, like, why everybody's infatuated with this dude. Like, I'm just like, he just seems like basic white dude, so, like, I don't understand why everybody cares. But so yeah, that's where I'm at there. So I think I'm either going to go on to The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin, because I really want to read a fantasy right now. And so I have tried to read this before and just was just like, I can't concentrate. So this, from what I remember, kind of has like dreaming stuff in it. It is called the Dream Blood duology, so I'm assuming dreaming has something to do with it. And like, I love N.K. Jemisin and her writing, so I'm really excited to read this. And it's not too long. It's like, you know, about a little over, probably actually, yeah, like almost 400 pages. So that seems more like my speed right now. If not, then I want to read one of the books that I just hauled, which I'm going to show y'all the books that I bought yesterday when I was at Barnes & Noble. And I guess Barnes & Noble, since they're being run now by the guy who like saved Waterstones in Britain or whatever, like since it's like he's now running Barnes & Noble, they're starting to do like a lot of like special editions, like how Waterstones does special editions. And I'm like, I'm all here for it. I didn't get any of those books, but like I saw a lot of them there and I was like, ooh, I can't wait to y'all do stuff that like I want to read. So like I was very close to picking up stuff that I was just like, oh, I love this, it's so pretty, but I'm just like, Mary, you are not interested in that at all. Like, don't pick that up. Anyways, so the books that I got was Our Share of Night by Marina Enriquez, yeah. This might also be something that I read if I don't get into The Killing Moon, so kind of in between those because I'm really interested in this one. I think this is kind of like horror, like a literary horror kind of book, and so really interested in this. I just love this cover, and then I just kept seeing it a lot on a few different people's like best of, so really interested in that. And then I just saw this one and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is Oh God, the Sun Goes by David Connor, and this is just like a literary fiction book about one day that the sun like just disappears from the sky and like everybody's kind of like going on with their daily life, and this guy is gonna travel across the American Southwest to figure out why the sun is gone. And I don't know, it's just like it's just like it's a, you know, hallucinatory and deadpan book, you know, it's just very literary. So I don't know, super short and just sounds really cool, so that's kind of why I picked it up. I thought this cover was pretty cool, so I was just like, yeah, I gotta need that. And you know, why not try out something new? And then I got a book that I've been anticipated, which came out last year, but I was still anticipating it, which is Lilith by Licky McMerriman. This is like a retelling of Lilith, so like I really do like the Greek retellings and everything like that. Like I'm kind of getting over them, but like I really do like the different types of retellings. I really enjoyed Kaike, and so I really hope to enjoy Lilith, because you know, I've never read a retelling of like Christian mythology, so that would be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. And like, you know, Lilith's obviously a pretty crazy character, not crazy, but like interesting character that the Bible doesn't really talk about. So, and then the last book I got was The Warded Man by Peter V. Brett. This is the start of the Demon Cycle trilogy, I think, or series. I don't know how many are in this, but this has always been on my TBR as something I want to read. I think it's supposed to be like a grimdark fantasy, and it's an older fantasy, but I'm pretty interested in it. And honestly, like, I picked it up because this edition is just like stupid floppy, and I was like, I really want that edition. So yeah, and like, I don't know, I kind of like this demon cover. I kind of think it's kind of cool. But anyways, so that's my little haul that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. So once I either finish watching you, which hopefully I will finish soon because my hold at the library is only for like 4 more days, so I need to wrap that up. And so when I finish that, I will let y'all know, and either when I get some time into either one of these, I will also let y'all know. So yeah, I really am enjoying kind of trying to do this vlog thing, so hopefully this works out. And yeah, Pattern, come. He thinks his sister's outside, but she's at training. Come here. Come. Good boy. Say goodbye. Pattern, look. Yeah. Hey guys, so I just finished watching you. Whoop, that's terrible. You can't see it. Whatever. I just finished Watching You by Lisa Jewell. Was a thriller book that I've talked a little bit about. So pretty much this was about this neighborhood community that are all kind of entangled with one another, and their relationships with each other, and all of them just kind of watching each other. So you have a couple different points of view. One is like this 27-year-old woman who just got married, and she's living with her brother and sister-in-law and her new husband, and she's like trying to, you know, grow up and be an adult, and she becomes infatuated with one of her neighbors, Tom, who apparently Tom is like the guy that everybody loves. Everybody, like it literally says in the book, like all the women want to fuck him and all the men want to be him. And so like everybody's kind of like infatuated with this dude, and the story kind of revolves around this man. And then you have he's like a headmaster at schools, and he kind of helps turn like bad schools into good schools. And so like then you have the point of view of this teenage girl that goes to one of his schools, and like one of her friends is like infatuated with him, and she's kind of like grossed out by him. She thinks he's kind of a freak and kind of like perv. And then you also have the perspective of his teenage son, who you find out through the story has Asperger's. And is there another POV? I don't think there's another POV. And then you have snippets of like police interviews, because you know that somebody is dead throughout this story, and but you just don't know who, and you don't know who murdered them or anything like that. And like all of that sounds more interesting than it was to me. I think the story of what the actual twist was would have been a better story. And like that makes no sense if you have never read this, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but like I think I would have liked the story of what actually happened than what we got. Because basically this is all about like assumptions and like what you assume, and when you see things, like your first assumption about it, and then like just all these people's assumptions on what is happening. So yeah, I'm kind of like meh on this whole book. I'm just like, I just don't care. I didn't care the entire time I was reading it or listening to it. I did not enjoy this narrator at all. Like I did not like her voice. That was kind of very irritating. So I am filling in my spreadsheet for this, so I'm just going to talk about some of the things. I got this spreadsheet that I'm using from a booktuber, Covers with Cassie, or Covers by Cassie, or Covered by Cassie, something like that. If I remember when I'm finally posting this to link her channel, I'll link her channel, or maybe I'll link the video that actually has this spreadsheet in it, because the spreadsheet was free and I thought that was pretty fucking cool. So, and it's like, I've never actually used like a reading spreadsheet before. Normally I just use like a reading journal, but like I was like, oh, this would be kind of nice to like actually have it all done as like a spreadsheet, so I can keep up with things a lot easier, and you know, get tables and all that stuff like that. So anyways, yeah. And now my throat is like starting to feel all scratchy and I hate it. This is Zeppelin. She's my little baby girl. So let's go through these things. So she has like on this spreadsheet things to like rank by so that you can get your star rating or whatever. And it's like on a 10 point scale, and then gives you like a star rating within like the 5-star ratings. Sorry. So the first thing on here is characters. And characters, they're pretty basic. I don't think any of them were that interesting or compelling or unique or anything like that. So I'm kind of just gonna go with a mid here and say characters were a 5, because they were just fine. The plot, kind of like I said, I wish it was the plot of the twist. So I'm actually gonna give plot like a 4, because I did not think the plot was very interesting or very good. The writing, I mean, I guess it's fine. It wasn't horrible. Like I said, I listened to it. So I'm just going to give that a 5, because I'm not really here for it. Setting, nothing interesting. Like, this is set in like England, small town. But I don't really feel like it gave very good like small town vibes like you normally get in something like this. Not like in like Little Fires Everywhere. Like you have that like small town feel, that neighborhood feel. Like I don't feel like I really got that from this. So I mean, I would have to say probably a 5 on that as well. And overall, and she has on here enjoyment, which is based on my enjoyment. I did not enjoy this pretty much at all. It was fine. I really wish I would have, like, I could have just DNF'd it. So I'm gonna give enjoyment a 3. Yeah, that's what I figured. So that put the total score at a 4.17, making the star rating a 2, which is exactly where I would put it if I was just giving a star rating, would be a 2. Because and I like thrillers and I like things like that, and I just did not enjoy this at all. So yeah, I'm not surprised by a 2 rating there, and yeah, I'm gonna end up giving this a 2 and all of my other stuff as well. So that's my update there. I did actually start The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. I am so much enjoying this. I'm only on chapter 3, so I'm not very far in. I am definitely being able to like read this mentally this time, because the last time I tried to read this, I was like, this is going way over my head. And I don't feel that way this time, which is great, because I love N.K. Jemisin's writing. I love her imagination. I think she is so unique in her imagination and like storytelling and world building. Like I think she's really unique, because the 5th season, or the Broken Earth trilogy, is one of my favorite series. Like it's in my top series of all time. So like I think she is fantastic. So I am really excited to get on with this. I am excited about this. I really hope I really like this, because I do have the 2nd book. So I would love to, you know, complete this and complete a series this year. So that's what we're doing right now. Hope you guys are enjoying, and we'll talk whenever I have an update again. So yeah. Hey friends, so this will be the last clip of this little vlog. So I think I said at the very beginning of this that I was gonna do this as like a month-long thing, and then I've read, like I'm gonna have read by the end of like this week or by the end of like a couple of days, I've read like 6 books. So like I think I kind of want to do this as like every like a few books that I read, I will update, and then we'll do like vlogs. So maybe it'll be like every couple of weeks there'll be vlogs coming up. So anyways, I don't know. We're gonna roll like that because I like kind of keeping, I don't want these to be super fucking long, and you know, keep it kind of simple and fun maybe. So anyways, I'm going to update for my last book, and is my first 5-star of the year, so hopefully we can continue on that trend. But that is The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. Oh my god, this is so good. I loved this so much. So this is about this, so we're following 3 different perspectives in this story. One is he's referenced as a priest within this world sometimes by one of the other characters, but he is what's known as a gatherer, and he helps people pass on to the dreaming world, or to die pretty much. He like uses his ability to help people die. So either like families will come to him and be like, hey, like my relative is sick and dying, or it is in a lot of pain, like can you please help them pass on? Or if it's somebody who is corrupt and has been turned in, like he will, you know, go finish with that situation. And we are also following the perspective of his apprentice, and then we are following the perspective of a woman from a different land who does not understand their culture as much, and so she's learning all this, but she is also there to spy on their land because she knows that there is corruption within their government and within their church, pretty much. It's not called that, but it's just like, you know, that's basically what it is within their church. And she's trying to root out like what that is. And then like these other 2 characters get involved in that, and they learn a lot that they didn't know about their world, and about like how, you know, even if you think there's not corruption, there's always corruption. And like their society is really based on like no corruption. They like hate it. Like it is like illegal to be corrupt pretty much. And so, oh my god, it's just, this is so good. I love N.K. Jemisin so much. Her writing is, how I've described it is like, it's lyrical yet straightforward. Like she's not beating around the bush, but yet there's beauty in her writing, and her world building is like none other. I love it so much. That is the biggest thing I loved about this book, was the world building and the culture building that she does. Like this world feels so real and so lived in. Like, and she doesn't info dump when she's telling you these things. She lets you know without needing info dumps. Like it's just little things just slipped in from what the characters say or what they're doing. And it just, I just love it so much. I loved this culture. It is something that like, I just love so much. Like The Wheel of Time is like one of my favorite series because of the culture building that Robert Jordan does in it. Not just because of that, but I mean, that's a big reason why. And like, that's why I love this book so much. So on my little ratings things that we did, I should have brought my laptop over here. Duh. On my little ratings thing that I did, I gave the characters an 8. I do think they are not like super vibrant characters. Like they're not characters I'm gonna like remember their names. Like I'm gonna remember what they did, but not really their names or like know them, you know what I mean? So like I gave them an 8. Her writing, I gave a fucking 10. I love her writing so much. What else is there? There's plot. I gave the plot a 9. I gave the plot 8. It was a really good plot, but you know, that's not really why I was there. Setting, obviously that's the world building and everything. That's a straight 10. My enjoyment is a straight 10. Like I loved this so much. So that ended up giving The Killing Moon a 5-star rating. And I can't wait to start The Shadowed Sun. That's what I'll be, you know, talking about in my next vlog. So be looking out for that. But man, if like, I still think I love the Broken Earth trilogy. That's the 5th season. More than this, but I still loved this so much, and this made me like just want to reread the 5th season like so bad. So yeah, that was great. Like a little recap here at the end of all the books that I've read. I've finished 3 books within this, and DNF'd 1 book, like officially DNF'd 1 book within that. So my DNF was Malice by John Gwynne. I didn't hate this, I'm not really that into it. He's speaking of world building, like he's just taking way too long with his world building, and he's not doing it like N.K. Jemisin. Sorry, to just be 100% honest, like it is too info dumpy, too much. It's taking way too long. I got 200 pages into this and just couldn't care anymore. So yeah, I DNF'd Malice by John Gwynne. My second, it wasn't the first book I completed, but it is the lowest rated one here. With a 2-star is Watching You by Lisa Jewell. I despise this. I thought it was really stupid and I really hate the twist, and what this whole thing was about was just stupid, and I didn't like any part of this, to be 100% honest. Yeah, I hated Watching You by Lisa Jewell, like so much. And then the next book was The Heroines by Laura Stefferson. I have no idea how to say this last name. This was good. It was fine. It was okay. It was a 3-star, perfectly applicable book. But we all know The Killing Moon takes the fucking cake. So I will be continuing on with this in the next vlog. I've also started listening to the Skyward Flight story of collections. This has Sunreach, Read On, and Evershore in it, so I can finish this series because I need to read this and then the last book. So yeah, so if you want to know more about the sequel to The Killing Moon and more about Shadow Flight, what? Skyward Flight, remember to subscribe and watch next in a couple weeks vlog. And while you're there subscribing, remember to like and comment. Let me know if you've read any N.K. Jemisin, what you think about this Lisa Jewell, like if I should continue reading Lisa Jewell or what's going on there. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.